Hey there guys, it is me, Zeke A here, back at the Zeke Said So channel. And as you can see, I have no microphone. am not in my normal background. I'm in front of my Batman v Superman poster. I'm going to give you guys my annual Blu-ray, well, they're not all Blu-rays, but movie collection video. This is the video where I break down, where I take every single movie in my collection. You can see it. You can partially see it right here, but I'm going to take every single movie and I'm going to talk about it. And I won't go super in depth on these. I'm just going to talk about these because I think I need to use the camera again, and I got to get away from my MCU movie reviews. Okay, let's just move on with the first two, and we have The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I remember back, if you guys have watched my videos for a long time, you know that I said I liked this one a little bit more, but I just rewatched both of these like a couple weeks ago, and I think I might like this one just a little bit more because this one, yeah, let's not talk about that one. Ants, a great animated film. It's a movie that I think went a little bit further in terms of its jokes, a little bit more funnier. Even though I love A Bug's Life, I love the humor in A Bug's Life, I think this one just took it a little bit further, and I like that about this movie. Plus, it's no, it's PG. I thought it was PG-13. Ant-Man, one of my favorite MCU films. I actually just watched this movie for a movie review that I'm going to do leading up to Thor Ragnarok. So, Ant-Man, great movie, and I cannot wait to do my review. And I've got The Avengers and The Avengers Age of Ultron. Again, these reviews are coming, but they're coming the week of Avengers Infinity War. But I love the first one, one of my favorite comic book films of all time, and the second one I like just as a fun action comic book film. I love it. The Batman collection. This has the Tim Burton Batman movies and the two Joel Schumacher Batman movies, but we don't talk about those movies, but we talk about the Tim Burton ones as, you know, fun and enjoyable, and, you know, they're kind of dated a little bit, but oh well. Ben 10. Sorry guys, I'm a kid at heart. Love Ben 10 was my favorite thing in the world. Not really. It was like my favorite cartoon. Anyway, Brother Bear 2. Hate that so much. I don't like the fact that I own it. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I just did a review on this if you want to go check it out. But in my top 5 favorite MCU films, like, ever. I mean, I think this is probably my number 3 in my top 5 favorite MCU movies. Just a fantastic film with a lot more humanity in this film than a lot of the other MCU films. Captain America Civil War. Again, I'm going to do a review of this, and I'm actually going to watch this movie right after I'm done filming this video. I'm filming this video on Friday, but you guys aren't going to get this till Saturday, so. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I actually like this remake. I thought it was good. Did I think it was better than the original? No, not at all, but I do think it is an enjoyable film. Chicken Run, one of my favorite animated films of all time. I love this movie. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. This movie, though, Prince Caspian, I think is phenomenal. I love this movie. Creed, one of my favorite films of all time, and this was just a great re-entry into the Rocky universe. I love the other Rocky movies, but I think this one just made Rocky fun again. You know, not like a music video-ish. We got Corpse Bride, Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. And you know what? Since it's Halloween, I think I might end up watching this film, and maybe I might do a review for it. I'm not so sure. Daredevil. Let's not talk about that. The Dark Knight. I've reviewed this movie on my channel, but I'll say it again. This movie is the best comic book film ever made in general. I don't care what anybody says. This is the best one. And if you don't like that opinion, too bad. This is the best comic book film ever made. It's better than the Avengers and better than and Logan's great. Logan's fantastic, and the Avengers is like so good. But this was everything a Batman movie should be. Just phenomenal. The Dark Knight Rises, which is good. I like The Dark Knight Rises. I don't think it's the best movie ever, but you know what? It's good. And then we got the Diary of a Wimpy Kid collection here. This has first one, second one, and third one. And I think the one I love the most is probably the third one. Second one, maybe the second one I like a little bit more, but the first one, alright. Then we got Dudley Do-Right with Brendan Fraser. I'm just gonna say this. I love silly comedies, and this is silly and ridiculous, and I love it. I've reviewed this on my channel before, and I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Finding Nemo is a masterpiece. I think this film deserved to be nominated for Best Picture. Whether it should have won, I think that would have still gone to Return of the King, but this is a fantastic movie. I just was so impressed by this movie, especially just, for me, growing up with this movie, it makes me feel like a kid again. Flushed Away. And now we're getting into the second pile here. Okay, there we go. Guardians of the Galaxy. Probably my top 5. It is in my top 5 favorite MCU films. I love this movie so much. The soundtrack is fantastic. Come and get your love. Yeah, that song is brilliant. It's amazing. I love it. What other songs are in Hooked on a Feeling, all that kind of music. It's awesome. I love it so much. Don't Judge Me, but Green Lantern. I like the scenes where Green Lantern is actually on the planet Oa, but the villain, the giant poop cloud that's on the cover right here, yeah, let's not talk about that. The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, and The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. Now, I'm going to be honest, guys. This is not the best adaptation of a book. I have the book. It's actually on the shelf over there. But, I really think my favorite out of the entire trilogy is The Desolation of Smaug, with the third one maybe coming in next. I don't know. Usually the third and the first one always switch places for me. But I own them because I love the book and I love the world of Middle-earth. And I love the Lord of the Rings films. Hook. I hate Peter. That was a terrible impression. I will never do that again. That was a horrible impression. I love this movie. You got Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, Bob Hoskins. You have all these other actors, and this movie is fun. I love this movie so much. How to Train Your Dragon 2, which I actually love more than the first one. I don't even own the first one, but I love this movie. This was probably my top 5 favorite films of 2014 because I just love this movie, and I love the way this movie ended, which, it was good. It was a good way to end the film. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, the only Hunger Games film I own. I actually like this movie, to be honest with you guys. I can sit down and watch this movie and not hate myself for it either. We have Iron Man 1, 2 in the back, and 3. All the Iron Man movies, I think only the real good one is Iron Man, and they fell on the floor. Anyway, I love these. I don't love these movies. I love the first one only, and the first one's great. And look, there's Tony Stark in the front, Iron Man's on the back. The way I like it. Inside Out, fantastic film, and it is slipping out of the cover. There we go. Inside Out, brilliant Pixar film. Probably, this was my favorite film of 2015, and it's still, to this day, out of all the films that have come out in 2015, I know Jurassic World is great, but out of all the films that came out in 2015, this is probably my favorite. And it's probably my top 5 favorite Pixar films, too. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and The Last Crusade. I do not own the fourth one because, the fourth one, in my opinion, doesn't exist. Out of all these 3, which one do I love more? I remember always being a big fan of Temple of Doom. I don't know why. Something about this movie, and I dropped it again, something about this movie just made me love it a little bit more. Section over there. Journey to the Center of the Earth. I know, guys, I have a lot of Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser is going to come up a lot in this video, so just be warned when I say that. But you know what? I thought this was fun and enjoyable, and I wish I had the sequel because I really liked the sequel too. The Jungle Book. My favorite, out of all the live-action Disney films, this is my favorite. I love the way that Jon Favreau handled this movie, and I love that the CGI just looks spectacular. And if you watch this on an HD TV, just watch this movie on an HD TV. You'll be blown away. The Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, and it's technically not even the Karate Kid, it's more of the Kung Fu Kid. The Legend of Zorro, we don't talk about that. Well, no. Okay, I'll say this. Legend of Zorro is entertaining, but the story, And no, this is not the Mask of Zorro, if you're getting confused. This is the Legend of Zorro, the sequel. A Series of Unfortunate Events. I like this movie. I thought it was good. Do I think the TV show is better? I really think this movie is a lot better. Even though the show is a more faithful adaptation, I love this one. The Lion King. One of the best Disney films ever made. I cannot wait for the live-action remake. I can't wait what Jon Favreau does with this film. Just this film in general just makes it. This is a representation on what you want for any movie. Like in all seriousness, this movie is one of the great animated films because of one thing. It feels almost very, I don't like to use the word because I think it's overused and I think it's stupid, but it felt Shakespearean almost, and it was cool. I loved The Lion King. I loved the way it was written and the way the voice actors did a really good job. In fact, James Earl Jones, I am so glad he's playing Mufasa in the live-action remake. A big pile right now. And then we got Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, Return of the King. These are great book-to-film adaptations. Which one do I love more? Return of the King. And then I would put Fellowship second place, and then this would probably go last. Even though I love the Two Towers, but I think this would go second place just for the heck of it. Okay, I had to take a quick water break for a little bit. Let's get back into this. This is the last film in the pile, and I almost dropped it again. The Matrix. What can I say that hasn't been already been said about The Matrix? Don't have the other two movies because I think they're garbage. Come on, you stupid pile of films. Alright, that pile needs to get a little bit closer too. Alright, we got two more stacks. I know, guys, it's not that big of a collection, but you know what? I don't have that big of a collection. I'm hoping that I can go and get a bigger collection. But for now, let's get on with this. Men in Black 3. Men in Black 3, you know, as much as I love Men in Black 3, I don't think it's up there with the original film. In fact, I actually kind of think it's a little weak. It's better than Men in Black 2, though, that's for sure. Monster House. Oh my gosh, I love Monster House. This film is probably one of my top 10 favorite animated films of all time. I love this movie. Just the way it was and it's a good movie to watch on Halloween because it takes place around the week of Halloween. Alright, Monsters University, and it doesn't have a cover because, you know what? Lost the cover, but this is, it's Monsters University. Trust me, it is. It's Monsters University. Trust me. And we got the Brendan Fraser Mummy trilogy. I absolutely freaking hate this one. This movie, garbage. That's what that movie gets. This movie, enjoyable, fun. I can have fun with it. This movie is one of my favorite films of all time. This is the one that made me become a film fan, and this one is probably the one that made me want to make my own movies. Pirates of the Caribbean 1, 2, and 3. The one I really love is the first one, even though the second one I love the second one too. And then 3, meh. 4, 5, let's not even talk about. Okay, now this is the Spider-Man 2 case, but I do have Spider-Man 1, and then Spider-Man 2 is actually underneath. Spider-Man 2, and then Spider-Man 3. I really love the second one a little bit more. Second one's probably my second favorite Spider-Man film of all time, right behind Spider-Man Homecoming, which, by the way, I'm gonna get that on Blu-ray. Saving Mr. Banks. This film and The Mummy are two movies that switch places as my favorite films of all time, but Saving Mr. Banks is a film that I can watch over and over again because I love watching these movies that take place on I love watching behind the scenes of famous movies, and I love seeing the way Mary Poppins came to be. Even though some people will say it's not that faithful of an adaptation, but you know, this I still think it's a great movie, brilliantly acted by Tom Hanks and Emma Thompson. Colin Farrell. I'm sorry, I almost said Colin Firth. Colin Farrell owns this movie, and if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Suicide Squad. Hey, I like the movie. I don't think it's a masterpiece of a film, but I like the movie. And this is actually the extended cut, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think the extended cut really changes much. But I do like the movie. Superman Returns. Not talk about that. The Star Wars saga, and including Episode 7. Guys, I do not own Rogue One. The reason why I watch Rogue One, because it's on Netflix. But Episode 7 is my favorite Star Wars film, and I love these. I love the original six films that are here. Not all of them. I obviously do not like Attack of the Clones, but Episode 3 is good. A New Hope is spectacular. Empire Strikes Back is great. Return of the Jedi is awesome. But yeah, I love them all. Not all of them. Okay. Terminator 2 and Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. Terminator 2 is a masterpiece on action movies. It's one of the best action films ever made. Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, and Toy Story 3. Here's how I would rank them. Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, and I would put Toy Story last place. But yeah, I love them all. Toy Story 3 obviously was the third animated film in history to be nominated for Best Picture. Toy Story 2 currently holds a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And the original Toy Story is the first computer animated film in history. So all three of these movies have made history among filmmaking. Can't wait for the fourth one, by the way. Alright. Treasure Planet. I love Treasure Planet. It is so great. Probably my top 10 favorite Disney films of all time. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know Joseph Gordon-Levitt voiced the main character of the film. I didn't, and found that out I think a couple years ago too, and it was awesome. I love this movie. Yeah, it's Disney's little version of Treasure Island, but you know what? Treasure Planet, I love it. The Transformers movies. The only one I love the first one, and I'm gonna be honest, this third one is probably my second favorite. And I'm gonna be honest, I think this movie is good, but you could have chopped this down into like an hour and a half. There was no reason for this movie to be 2 hours and 40 minutes. This is ridiculous. This movie's ridiculously long. And by the way, we'll never buy the fifth movie on Blu-ray. If someone gives it to me as a gift, it can sit in the collection and collect dust. I will never watch the fifth movie. The first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Secret of the Ooze, and yeah, we don't talk about that one, and we definitely do not talk about this one. I love the first one, but in all reality, guys, none of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies are great films. I don't think so, because here's the thing. The new Michael Bay ones were awful. This is the only good one, but it still has a lot of flaws. So, considering that this is the best Ninja Turtles movie, still, it's kind of embarrassing considering that we've had some remakes to movies like this that have been better than the original, but this is still the best one. It's still better than that garbage 2014 Michael Bay produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. The Wolverine. And yes, it says The Wolverine right there. I don't know if you can see it. X2, X-Men United. Probably the first film I watched, and you know, it made me want to watch the other X-Men movies. X-Men First Class. Probably my third favorite X-Men film. Logan's obviously my number 1. Days of Future Past is my number 2. And X-Men First Class is my number 3. I love what Matthew Vaughn did with this film. Matthew Vaughn directed this movie, and I love the way he shoots action in You know, and obviously Kingsman is great, but this is probably my favorite film of Matthew Vaughn's. We got 2 more movies in the collection. X-Men Days of Future Past, obviously my second favorite X-Men film, and I love the fact that Bryan Singer came back and he basically rebooted the X-Men franchise without redoing an origin story. He rebooted. This was the reboot. This was the official reboot. And then X-Men 1, X-Men Apocalypse was obviously the one that started the new started this new franchise of younger X-Men cast. Even though X-Men Apocalypse sucks, but this movie is great. Love this movie, and I can watch this movie with a blink of an eye, without blinking an eye. Zathura. I love this movie. It's a cool version of Jumanji, but you know what? I like it still. So, guys, let me stand up and show you the mess. Oh my God! Let me take you guys off the tripod for a second. I never do this, but oh my gosh! Just look at that. Man, what? Where'd that go? There it is. Let's just... It's clobbering time. Brendan Fraser, Rob Conan, and your stupid Chinese freaking villains. Things just got a little violent in here. I am sorry. Anyway, guys, that will do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I think you guys subscribe to my channel because Zeke A said so. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.